What's going on, y'all? This is Greg with Greg Said It. Back with another video here. The Buffs just won. What they call him, nail biter. A lot of drama. I haven't really caught a lot of the TV shows. I just knew, you just know how life work and how this thing work. That it's been a lot of talk about this game and about the dirty plays, and it's really escalating. I know the player's getting a lot of death threats, and his family. And I knew that was coming. And he's from Boulder, out of all places. So it's going to be rough for him to come back. People know who he is. They say he had other cases and other situations that he kind of got off on. And it's like he's catching it. And that really comes with it, man. That's why you don't play evil. You can't escape. You do evil, whether you are not fully aware or whether you just take it lightly. It's a cost that come with it, Use you and then throw you in the fire. That's a whole, don't make me preach up in here. Because, this is what it is. You got to be careful on which side of life, which side of history that you on, because it's never for your good, But the game is over. And if you haven't watched my stuff, go back and look at all my content I did since the beginning, right before the season. I'm a bandwagon, but I've been on this wagon since Prime came. I started doing videos kind of late in the summer. I wanted to wait till the season started. I probably should have started earlier. But I've been down with it, and I've been calling this thing. Go back, check out other videos. Like, I called the 3-0 going into Oregon. It wasn't a hard call, especially if you're not a hater. You could see it. I called TCU. I called Nebraska. I called different Colorado State. And I used the word upset, and I wonder why I used it, but I called the upset in Oregon, coming back undefeated at USC at home with the Heisman talk and the playoff talk and all that just being a big deal. And it's looking unlikely for a lot of reasons. I think Colorado State is the worst and best thing for the team because they're back in the underdog mode. They're back in the estimated role, and the respect is not there because of that, and they're not Power 5, blah, 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 blah. But it's one of those rival games, and it's one that always been like that from what I hear. But we also know a lot of fluky stuff, and there was some dirty stuff too. But they won without Travis Hunter. People overlooking that. Would he have been valuable against 14? Absolutely. But as I said in the Travis Hunter video, you all should go definitely check that out. My video about how it could be one of the biggest blessings for when Travis Hunter got hurt. And only a foolish person will say that I'm saying it's blessed that he got hurt. But it's going to be some positive come out. And if you don't know that, you need to wake up, because it always worked for the good with people who are on the right side of things. If you don't know what that is, figure that out too. But a lot of players are going to have to step up, and it's going to make the team stronger for when he does come back. And don't think, mark this, he's not going to come back with a vengeance. If you think he had a vengeance before, he was playing with that, he's going to be dead serious. He's going to be angry for missing these 2 games. He's already a competitor, and he's aggressive. And him not playing in these games is going to light a fire up him like nobody business. He's not going to come back playing around. Now, we know, I don't know if you all follow his channel, but he has like an NIL or sponsorship with a very high-tech facility when it comes to his recovery of his body. All kinds of, what they call, I don't know, criminal or whatever, freezing, ultraviolet rays, oxygen chambers, you name it. So he's going to get the top-tier treatment. His recovery is going to be faster than normal, and it's going to be complete. Mark that. He has some damage possibly to his liver or something like that. He's going to heal. And when he comes back, he's not going to come playing with y'all. Just know, if you know anything about him other than some ESPN and talking points, his mentality, he's not going to come back playing. He's going to come back better. Because really, it's like his last couple games, he's coming back with a vengeance. And he's going to be aggressive. And his team is going to be better. And this might be the catalyst to take this team to the next level. You might just see the catalyst to make other players who were hiding behind him or were comfortable letting him be the alpha They have to step up, and when you have 2-3 apples out there, it's going to be a different team. They're going into conference play. I put in this video, who's safe? Who's safe in the Pac-12? Because out of 12 teams in the Pac-12, 7 are ranked in the top 25. Let me repeat that. In the Pac-12, 7 of the top 25 teams come from the Pac-12, just from Pac-12 alone. All right. We have in week 3, after week 3, USC at number 5, Washington at number 8, Oregon at number 10, Utah right behind them at number 11, Oregon State at 14, Colorado bumped back 1 to number 19, and Washington State is at number 21. Check that out. Colorado is about to play the number 10 team and turn around and play the number 5 as currently ranked back-to-back. Them winning that game, those games, any way, any fashion, any possibility, definitely puts them not only in the top 10, but depending on how everything else goes, they could be around number 5 halfway through the season. And I always said if they win out, but that's easy said than done. Because you know, I just said 7 top 25 caliber teams. This is not a little fluky conference. This is not a conference where, you know, only a couple teams that you're going to face going to be good. Like maybe the, you know, ACC is doing better this year. I know Miami and Florida State, but I think in Duke, this is one of their best years as well, but not 7. This reminds you of how the SEC used to do it. When you would see Alabama, Georgia, LSU, Florida, and Auburn, and then, you know, one of the other teams, you know, before these other teams came out, and this is what you would see on a regular basis. And Pac-12 should be ashamed because they're going out with a bang. That's good. But they're breaking up one of the most competitive conferences. Not only that, but maybe out of all the 7 teams, 6 of them, outside of maybe Oregon State, possibly, every last one of those teams have top quarterbacks. Almost all of them, in some point in the future, are potential Heisman candidates. They're calling, like, the Pac-12 the conference for quarterbacks. Everybody's talked over Pac-12 as if it's just, some rinky-dink conference. But for the last couple of years at least, they've been producing the top quarterbacks, right? They have a lot of talent in Pac-12. And the talent usually benefits from great quarterbacks. USC, Washington, Oregon, Utah, Colorado, Washington State, Ward. This conference, any week, is going to be competitive because you have good quarterbacks. See, a lot of teams don't win because they don't have good quarterbacks. You can have the best running backs and receivers, but if your quarterback is going to throw 3-4 interceptions a game, he can take you out the game. Or he can't do like Shedeur and take you down the field like Tom Brady in the last 2 minutes. A whole minute. And put you in touchdown or field goal position or run a 2-point conversion. That matters. So with that, who is safe? Like I asked, who's safe in the Pac-12? Really? Everybody's undefeated right now. All those teams I just named. Yes, early, and unlike, you know, everybody else, Colorado's played Power 5 teams for their first 2 games. You can say what you want about Colorado State and the Mountain West. I hear they put a lot of pros. They really could be Power 5. A lot of the teams, you know, what they've done over the years. Not to say that the Colorado State is worth anything, but they're not playing, you know, a lot of low-level teams for the first 3 games. They played TCU, returning national championship, beat them at home, beat Nebraska, who's traditionally been a good team or powerhouse, whatever. They're decent. That's who they played as a new team coming off of 1-11. I can't say that about the other teams. I mean, they beat, you know, USC beat, I don't know, who they played convincingly the first game, something with Portland, something like that. Oregon, you know, beat some teams. But I can't say that about everybody else. But I can say Colorado has been tested. and they've been tested in a lot of ways, emotionally, physically. They have a lot of injuries. Nobody's talking about how many players Colorado didn't play, but they don't know enough about the players. All they know is Shedeur and Travis Hunter. They pretty much had their third string cornerback out there when Travis went down. That's what opened up some of the things with number 14, who's going to the NFL, Holton. So it's a lot of things that you have to consider instead of just the hype and hating on Coach Prime. They have a linebacker who hasn't played yet. Again, he's on the watch list. I think he's on the Senior Bowl watch list, I believe. You have running back McCaskill hasn't played yet, and some other players who are slowly coming back in. For one reason or another, some other players haven't played, but Slusher, who played very well the first game, he's still out. Now we have Travis out. You still yet to see all the pieces come together for Colorado. I know it's hard to see that when you're wishing that they lose so you can rub it in Coach Prime's face or go back to your old narrative. He's not good enough. They're only going to win a few games and you lucked up and wanted to. It's pathetic. It's childish. It's not manly. It's not a lot of things. You know, a winner loves a winner and a loser hates a winner. You look yourself in the mirror, you know, is the shoe fit, wear it. I said that this morning, you know. Winner loves to see other winners win. It's not personal, it's been a winner. And winner likes to see winner. Coach Prime is a winner. And when you want to see a man lose so bad, it shows you really don't have a winning mentality. Because when you're a winner, you don't have time to hate on other people. And that's just true. Even Coach Prime says that. They're doing well, and the whole time people have been moving the goalposts. What about Oregon? Well, I already told you Oregon and USC. Duh, from the beginning was going to be their test, but it's also their first 2 conference games. But none of them are safe. It looks like a potential of a lot of teams that's ranked right now to beat each other up, just like SEC used to. You go in the SEC, everybody's ranked in the top 25, 6, 7 teams, and then they all beat each other and take each other out. You know? And maybe a few of them, you know, usually Alabama and Georgia and LSU, they only lose 1 or 2. And they hang in there, but everybody else beat each other up. They take turns beating each other. And it looks very like that's the potential this year. I'm just going to go ahead and, since like I've been able to predict Colorado, since we're here, I can see, you know, nobody's going to be undefeated for long because the conference is going to have to all play each other. And they all ranked. And they're all good enough to beat each other, so they're not going to be necessarily undefeated. And then also not, you know, gonna be able to keep the ranks, because it's gonna be hard, you know, looking at other conferences. Once you lose one, you're not gonna get the same weight as an SEC team lose one, especially if you're already at number 15, number 20, or whatever. It's just gonna knock you off like they did TCU. So just be prepared. USC can lose any given week. Like they're almighty. They're no longer the king of the conference because everybody else is good as well and can beat them. Washington can beat them. Oregon can beat them. Utah can beat them. Oregon State can come in and beat them. Colorado can beat them. Washington State can sneak up and beat them. And I don't even know if that's a sneak, but I mean, they have a good enough quarterback. I'm not really getting into all the nuances of the stats and the details of each player. I'm more familiar with Colorado, but we will as the games come, right? And that goes the same for everybody else on that list. So we're looking at 1 or 2 games. It's what, about 9 games left in all conference? I just named 7, including Colorado, that's already ranked. That leaves you only a few teams outside of that. It leaves you with Arizona, Stanford, UCLA outside of that. And even there, some of them may be decent, right? Arizona State may be decent. At some point could have been ranked. We don't know how this season going to go, but it's going to be a competitive season, period. It's not going to be just Oregon and USC and whoo, you're over with, because you're still going to have to go and see these other ranked teams. Washington's number 8 right now. Utah's the last game. You got to go through them to get to the conference championship. It's going to be a contending week by week thing. It's no breeze in this conference. All of their quarterbacks are good enough to give you a hard time if you come slipping. They all can sling it. They all can sling it. So that in itself makes you able to lose. It's really going to boil down to who's better at that quarterback position, for one, and whose defense doesn't make the most mistakes. If you mess around and make a mistake against Shedeur, he will beat you. If you make a mistake against Caleb, he'll beat you. Bo Nix, they are not all even. I don't think Bo Nix is, but he's good enough that if you take him lightly and come slipping, he'll run up scoring because he has enough talent to do that with. Nobody is safe. Nobody is safe in the Big 12. I mean, not Big 12, Pac-12. On this final ride for Pac-12, it's going to be a doozy. It's going to be a doozy. Everybody's looking at Colorado, but nobody is safe. You so busy crossing your fingers hoping Colorado lose. Well, Oregon's next. Well, USC is next. Oh, you got to go to Oregon State. Oh, Washington State. Every week you're going to do that. You're forgetting that they got to play each other too. Yeah. USC, you can turn around and they can lose 2-3 games. They can in this conference. Same for Oregon. So while you hoping that Colorado lose 1, 2, and they finally lost. Guess what? Everybody got to play every week. And it matters what happens next couple of weeks, but it matters also what they do the rest of the schedule. They can beat them two and take the foot off the gas and have a problem. Like I said, with Washington, you have a problem with Utah, you're not safe. And that goes for everybody. And that's the beauty of it. And while you're hating on Colorado and eyeballing them, nobody's safe. It ain't safe. It ain't safe. It ain't safe. Ain't that something? Greg said it. Once again, like, share, subscribe, comment. Come on back. Let me hear what you got to say. Hit that bell notification so you don't miss anything else. And I'll talk to y'all soon.